Hello and welcome to the Carla Knits podcast. I'm Carla and I am a knitter, crocheter, and lover of all yarny things living in Nebraska. This is episode 36 and today is December 10th, Friday, December 10th. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as cbcraftygirl, and we do have a podcast group on Ravelry, and links for those things will be found in the show notes down below, as well as projects and yarns that I talk about. Currently in our Ravelry group, we have the Holly Jolly Make-Along going on. This started on, November 1st and goes through January 15th, and this is anything that you are currently making. This could be for this festive time of year. So it could be Christmas gifts, Christmas ornaments, Christmas decor, gifts for charity. Could be other holidays you celebrate, such as Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. Really just anything festive. It could be Christmas colors. Really, it's very wide open. And there is already so many finished objects. I am just having so much fun looking at all of those finished objects. Some of you are being so generous with your time and making so many things for charity, which is just wonderful. There are so many gifts for kids and grandkids on there. It is just wonderful to see all of those things. So if you'd like any fun inspiration or maybe ideas for what you could make, please check out that finished object thread on Ravelry, and lots of chatter going on too. So if you just want to talk about, what things you're working on or what you still hope to make during this time, there's still plenty of time to join in. It goes through January 15th. The idea with that was maybe to finish up projects with those advent calendars. So that is going on right now. Sure hope you will join in. I should have said thank you for coming back this week. For those of you who have been following along, thank you so much for returning each time. And if you're new, thank you so much for stopping by. All right. So I talked about the HollyJollyMAL. We are going to have a new make-along starting January 1st. And that is going to be Love Your Stash Mal, Love Your Stash Make-Along 2022. And the idea is to use up some things that are in our stash. So I have a bit of yarn and I have a bit of fabric too, but my fabric stash is not nearly what my yarn stash is, thank goodness. So the idea is just to love what's in your stash and use that to make some beautiful projects. So I'll be opening a chatter thread soon for that, and then the finished object thread I'll open in the new year. So start thinking about if you'd like to participate in that, what yarns or fabrics you might use, and that's going to be open, to any craft. So I'm thinking yarn for myself or sewing. It could be cross stitching, weaving. All of us have lots of crafts. Well, many of us probably have lots of craft supplies in our stash, I guess. It could be jewelry making too. So it's very open to a lot of crafts. So begin thinking about that. So that's, again, Love Your Stash Mal 2022. All right, getting into some yarn projects right now. I don't have any finished objects this week, but I will get into I'm calling them my Advent whips, because they are works in progress, specifically during this month, so during this Advent time, and using Advent calendars right now. So the first one I will show is this. This is and it's really hard. There's getting to be a lot of stitches right now on here, so I can't spread it out too well. But this is the Advent Shawl by Maria G. Knits, and you can see I was right there. Actually, that bobble row was what I had completed last week. I recorded on December 3rd, so that was This was day 1, this was day 2. This advent calendar is based on the Nutcracker, and it's by Teeny Button Studio. Now, if you look at it, the first couple of colors I would say are very Carla. And then it's definitely getting into some moodier colors, which I still enjoy moody colors. But I'm kind of wondering, you know, exactly how this project is going to turn out. It might be, you know, just a little bit crazy color-wise, but it is the Nutcracker, and this shawl will tell a story. Kind of going through the whole Nutcracker. So let me just tell you the names of the colorways. Let's see. So the first day, that pretty speckly pink and red, is Clara. The bobble row, just that little row, is Party Goers. And then this multicolored blue, green, red section is called Christmas Party. And then this lighter section is called Fritz. Then I'm just looking at my pattern here because I'm writing down the colorways. This big chunky section, I don't know exactly how it's showing on camera, but it's kind of a deep plummy purpley brown. And that is called Grandfather Clock. The next bobble section is in the colorway Christmas Tree. And then this section that follows with the deep pine colors, forest greens and browns, that is Drosselmeyer. And then where this lace section is, this light creams and dirty grays, is Mouse Army. So if you've seen the Nutcracker or you know the story, you can kind of picture everything as it's coming along. So right now I have completed through day 8 on this. I confess this section here and this section, which was the easiest to do, it was just garter stitch, but those sections took the most time, I guess, because they were bigger sections. So I felt like I was kind of getting behind. I did not start on day 9 yesterday because in the pattern now I'm going to do a striping sequence between day 9 and day 10. So I'll show you day 9. This is called Rat King, and it's grays and purples and just some hints of reds, pinky reds in there. So that is called Rat King. And I'm going to open day 10 now and see what will be striping with it. And let's see the name. This is called Tin Soldiers. So do you have any guesses what this might be? This is not exactly what I was thinking, but that's okay. So it's got some deep blues, deep purples, some plummy purples in. I don't know how well that's going to stripe together, but I'm going to go with it. It might just blend together and be more kind of impression of stripes, but we'll see how that works. I am hoping that this shawl will return to some bright colors because you know me, I love bright colors. So I am hoping, but again, I am enjoying this. I like this pattern a lot because of the different textures and different sections. And it is so fun opening these each day to see what part of the Nutcracker is coming up next, and to see, you know, this impression, this dyer's impression. I hope I said it, Teeny Button Studio, this impression, her impression of Nutcracker and how she interprets it on yarn. So that's really fun. So that is the first project I'm working on. The next one is called the Fairbanks Advent Shawl by Toni Lipsey. And I am using the Advent Calendar by So Happy Jane, Floriography, and it's based all on florals. And I was thinking this week, Susan, this bag is from Susan of Delightful Works. There's flowers on here, Christmas flowers. So how perfect for a shawl based on floral colors. So I thought that was really fun. So I have, this is a 12-day advent. I don't know if I said that. And this is a DK weight shawl. And so here, so I was through the yellow section last time. I've got my stitch marker on the wrong side. That's with all the ends. And here is how it is looking. So actually through, let's see, day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Through day 8, I was definitely seeing how these colors were working together, and I thought I knew how it was going. And then this day 9, this green, this really threw me yesterday. I think it pops really well with that deep purple, but that green really surprised me. And that color, that flower color, is called hydrangea. So are there green hydrangeas? I don't know. You can answer that if you know. I love flowers, but I guess when I think of hydrangeas, I think of the more bluish white big blossoms. And I know there's many colors of hydrangeas. There's purples, there's pinks, but I didn't know that there are greens, or if it's specifically talking about the foliage, the green on the plant. So please let me know if there are green hydrangeas, specifically the flower with the blossom on there. But let me just tell you what the colors are. So the first one, I said last week, I don't know this, I'm not familiar with this. This is Hellebore. And then Daffodil is the yellow. This next is Tulip. This lavender purple is Sweet Pea. This sweet pink is Peony. And this bright color here is Poppy. How perfect. This next color is Lavender. And then this deep plummy purple. Gosh, I just love that purple. That is Clematis. And then the green is Hydrangea. So I am keeping up on this shawl. The alternating, or I should say the natural color or natural looking color between stripes is by Bad Sheep Yarn in her Eggnog colorway. And it's a really sweet, soft ivory, and it has some blips of like a golden yellow, some orange, brown specks, occasionally a little pink speck shows up. But I thought that was a nice contrast with those stripes, really making those stripes stand out distinct. So I will open today's advent for day 10 of the So Happy Jane. And let's see, the color is Sunflower. So let's see what it's gonna be. I'm sure we can guess. Oh yeah, that's a really pretty yellow. Let's see what that's gonna look like there. Yeah, that's gonna be really nice. Yeah, this just kind of reminds me of a garden. It's so pretty. I absolutely love how this is crocheting up, and it's really fun having different projects, a knitting project and the crocheting project. I'm actually really enjoying this one so very much, having that crochet shawl. All right, so only a couple more to open on that 12-day advent. Yeah. And I think the border is a little bit bigger, so we'll see. But I'm making good progress, I think, on those advent shawls. Doing my best to keep up with them. Although I just have to remember, it's just a hobby. It's just for fun. You don't have to stress. It's not your job. Just enjoy. Just enjoy the process. So my last project that I'll show today is just making some room here, is my pair of self-striping Advent socks. This is by Freckled Whimsy, who came up with a 24 stripe Advent yarn. And here is, let me just grab this, just trying to organize myself here. Here is the progress on these. So where those stitch markers are, that is where I was last week. So I would have liked a little bit more progress on here, but I guess I have to remember this is still going to be 2 finished socks when they get done. I absolutely love the colors of these. I think that is just so super fun. I'll have to tell a little story. I was at Jeff's the college Christmas concert this past weekend. I went 2 times, but the one night I went, there was a lovely older couple sitting ahead of me, and I had brought a sock to work on, because you get there early to make sure you get a seat. So I was there almost an hour ahead of time. So I took out my sock, and he's like, "Well, what are you making there?" And and I said, "Oh, I'm knitting on a sock." And he's like, "Oh, is that for a kid?" I said, "No, it's probably for me." And he's like, "Well, what do you do with it?" And his wife says, "It's a sock. She's gonna wear it on her foot." So I thought that was kind of cute. I think maybe he was just taken back by the multicolored craziness, maybe he thought, but I thought that was kind of a funny story. And I have these cute stitch markers on here that I got recently. I don't know how well they're showing up, but maybe I'll insert a picture so you can see them a little closer. Some very sparkly, a snowflake and a Christmas tree. These are by 3 by the Sea. I absolutely love those kind of rhinestoney, yeah, those rhinestone charms on there. Yeah, they're so pretty. If you don't know by now, I'm sure you do know, I like a lot of sparkle things. I've got my sparkly nails, sparkly earrings. So yeah, I really thought those were pretty stitch markers. So that is my Advent pair of socks. I am anxious to finish these, not because I'm not enjoying it, because I really am enjoying knitting on these, but because I want to use my last Advent that I'm going to show right now. We had in our Ravelry group over, the fall, sometime this fall, the 12 mini skeins of Christmas mini swap. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but anyway, we were partnered with somebody and exchanged 12 10-gram minis, so a 12-day Advent for mini skeins. And my partner is Tiffany of the Woolen Homestead. Hi, if you're watching, Tiffany. And she has given me some beautiful yarns. So I know I showed a couple last week, so I'll just show those again. So this is actually the Woolen Homestead. This is their Dove colorway, a really pale, lovely gray. And then this sparkly pink, I love sparkly pink, is a Homespun House Mirth colorway. This one I opened last week. This is a Sirdar sock yarn. And then here are the next 3. Let me just show these. I'm just trying to keep them in order. My plan is to knit some scrappy socks with these. This is by Coloring Book Yarns in the Be Mine colorway, so a Valentine colorway. And then this one is so pretty. This is by Spun Right Round, and colorway is Chimera. I'm not sure how to say that exactly, but I love that colorway. And Tiffany, did you finish this pair of socks this year? I'm wondering if you did. I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking I saw that on your podcast, but that is a beautiful little mini. And then this is a Woolen Homestead colorway. It's Cosmopolitan. That is so lovely with those corals and pinks and purples in there. And then the next 3, which would bring us up through day 9. This is by La Bien-Aimée, Henrietta Swan Leavitt colorway. I'm not sure what that is a reference to. If anybody knows, you can share that. That is so pretty. The grays with those blues in there. That is just lovely. And then this beautiful blue is a Dream in Color Smushy in the color Brilliant. I love that blue. And then yesterday's colorway is Tiny Dancer by Scrumptious Pearl. And there's some beautiful sparkle in there. I absolutely love that. So that was through day 9. Let's go ahead and open day 10. Tiffany has also included so many lovely goodies on the side. There have been little Christmas lights, there have been pens, a game book, an ornament, chocolate. She has just went above and beyond. So Tiffany, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed opening this Advent package from you. So here is day 10. Oh, that's really pretty. Oh, I love that. The Woolen Homestead, and the colorway is Vintage Blue Jeans. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, this is going to make such a fun pair of scrappy socks. So I do plan, just like I am doing the 2 at a time with the Freckled Whimsy, I think I am going to divide these into 2, and then I'm going to make stripes from all of these beautiful colorways. So I really am anxious to get started on that. So that is all my Advent calendar work or whips for this week. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to share this, one of the prizes for our HollyJollyMAL, which I picked up and it came in this week. This pretty 50-gram skein of yarn. This is by Lambwoman Knits on Etsy. This is a one-of-a-kind colorway, but it is really bright and festive feeling. It has some pinky purple specks in there, some green specks, and I think that will be maybe a fun skein to work with in the spring or anytime. You know, I'm a bright person anytime, but that will be a prize for our HollyJollyMAL. All right, I guess just a little bit of chatter. I know I was feeling pretty frantic last week. I shared that. I'm doing better this week. It was just a busy time. Last weekend, Jeff had the 4 concerts, and I went to 2 of them, and it was just beautiful. The college students, all of those musicians, so talented, and such a beautiful Christmas concert, such a lovely way to start the Christmas season. So we had that going on. I talked about that I played or was going to play for a different church, and I was had some anxiety about that, and it went just fine. So Jeff said, what did he say? I am unnecessarily anxious. I am unnecessarily anxious. I think that was the term he used. So I don't know if I've said this before, but Jeff is an organist. He's an organ instructor at the college, and I'm an organist too. So he's kind of dealt with my nerves and anxiety throughout the years about playing, but once I'm comfortable in a situation, I'm pretty good. But it was just a new church to me, and everybody does things just a little different, but it went really well. This week, our knitting group had our annual Christmas party, which was so much fun. We didn't get to do it last year because of COVID, but we did get together this year. There's 7 of us, but 6 of us made it. One of our friends, Pat, hosted it at her house, and everybody brought food, and we had way too much food for 6 people, but it was really good. And then we always exchanged little gifts. So I should have brought one. I made crocheted little coasters or mug rugs. And then Lois, one of the gals, she made dishcloths. And let's see, there was hand lotion, candle. The candle came with a little stitch marker, a little tape measure, stitch marker. That was really sweet. And my friend Joanne, who I've talked about before on here, who had the yarn, she brought everybody a skein of yarn and a pattern. So it was just a lot of fun. Oh, and I forgot, one of the gals also weaves, and so she gave everybody a hand woven dishcloth, like a hand towel. So that was so much fun. Just a really fun party. So we ate, and then we sat around knitting for a while. And then that same day was Jenna's birthday. And so we went out. She wanted to try a new restaurant in Lincoln. So we went to a restaurant called The Oven, which is an Indian restaurant, and it was really, really good food there. We had never been there. We've lived here almost 20 years. Yeah, we need to branch out more because that was really good. And then she had wanted me to make a cake for her. So I made a strawberry shortcake cake. It had a whipped cream with powdered sugar, icing in the middle with fresh strawberries, and then a strawberry buttercream frosting. And it was a vanilla cake. So I think Jenna had a nice birthday. This was my last week of teaching for this semester. And so I just will go next week one day next week for keyboard exams. But my teaching for this semester is done, and so we don't go back till early January. So officially kind of on a Christmas break right now, so that feels pretty nice. Let's see, next week is Ryan's birthday, so we hope to go visit him on his birthday. And I'm planning not his birthday, because that's the day we have our exam at the college, but sometime next week we will go see our son Ryan in Kearney. And I'm just going to bring him a couple of his favorite goodies that he always likes at Christmas time. So he loves, I lost my train of thought here. I'm just picturing it. Chocolate covered potato chips. So that might sound odd, but if you've tried them before, you know how good that combination is. So I make homemade chocolate covered potato chips. He loves those. That's one of his favorites. And then also homemade cinnamon sugar pecans. So I'll bring him some goodies along next week. So one more thing I wanted to talk about. I don't talk about TV watching too much, but I love the Hallmark Channel. If you probably guessed, I am definitely a Christmas Hallmark movie kind of person. But this week I caught a Christmas movie on Netflix, and maybe some of you have heard of this or seen it. It's called A Castle for Christmas. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is that there is a group of knitters featured in this movie. So it's really sweet. The knitters kind of rally around the main gal, and there's a scene where they're talking about yarn bombing. So I just thought that was really fun. I did not pick it because of that. I had no idea that was going on that would go on in the movie, but that was kind of a really pleasant surprise. It's a good cheesy movie, very predictable, but so much fun to watch if you just want something lighthearted and fun. So A Castle for Christmas on Netflix. All right, with that, I think I've got through everything I wanted to share today. So I hope that you are all doing well this month. I hope that you are able to find some time to work on your knitting, crocheting, any type of craft that you are doing. And I will be back next week with one more episode before I take some time off for Christmas. So with that, I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you next time. Take care.